Hello everyone, it's Ginger here and welcome back to another video, and I'm going to be just playing with some minis today. I just wanted to have some fun. I've got lots of photos and videos from the allotment of all the flowers at the moment, so I'm just working through those photos and just creating some little pieces. Now I know I did some proper mini pastel paintings the last couple of videos of some of the flowers. These are just not colour studies, but they're just chilling, having fun and just playing with the subject and seeing what I can get. So I've got a couple of pieces here. This is the Fabriano Aquello watercolour paper. I've got 4 pieces here, cut left over from trimming a bigger piece that I'm working on that you'll see a video for in the next couple of days or so. So I've just got these. Now obviously I could work straight on these, but it would be very, very limited in the number of layers, and also I'm not planning on doing many layers. So if you've seen my rose studies, you'll know that that was done with just 2 layers, so this is very similar. So I am going to give these a coat of gesso. So I've got white gesso here. This is the Montmartre. It's pretty cheap, but it goes a long way. A tub like this goes a long way, and it just needs a light coating. Gesso has got a very, very fine grit in it. I can't remember, does it actually say on here what it's got? It's got me instructions in many different languages. No, it doesn't tell me what the makeup of this is, but I know that it just gives me just a little bit what I need. So I'm literally just gonna slap this on in a really thin coat. I don't need loads. I'm not doing anything heavily textured. It's just giving me a little bit more grip with the pastels. This is how I end up with white fingers. So I will speed this up and coat all 4 of these, and you can rejoin me when we're ready. Right, so I've picked a random allotment video, and this one has got many different flowers, and more importantly, it's got some stunning sunflowers. So we're going to do a base coat first and wash that out and then work on top of it. Just keeping it simple, try and keeping it to 2 layers. So we're going to start off with my darkest sections, which are at the back. So we've got a little bit of sky. Bear in mind, we are working pretty tiny with this, so we don't really want to be thinking about too much detail on the same kind of frame as this here. Like that. It's also dark down here amongst all these plants and at the base of the sunflowers as well, and again in this corner. And then it is a lighter green, but more of a, not quite as, yeah, like that. Obviously, our sunflowers come up, I might make them higher, like that. But I will just fill in the gaps with that. And then I'm going to put some sky in, just a little bit. Now I could use my fingers and blend this out, but I really want to wash it down to maintain as many layers as possible. So I've just got water in a cup here and one of my soft synthetic brushes. I'm just going to start with the sky because that's the lightest element. Careful not to try and pick up any of this green while we work, because it will get absolutely everywhere and it will really mess up this blue sky. Put it down here as close as we can and around. There we go. Right, and now we'll do our greens. So this is the dark first. Remember, we've got some dark down here and along the bottom, and then some patches around here and at the base of these sunflowers. Just making sure that this is strong enough up here to hold its own. And then we'll go in and we'll do this bright green. And you guys can probably guess what I'm going to say next after this. Now we're going to let it dry. So this is now pretty much dry. There's still a few sticky patches, but that's fine. So we've now got a really nice base to work from. So what we are going to do, there's some lighter patches on this dark trees. So I'm going to go back in and just mark out some of the darker sections down here. And up there, and kind of just take that into the sky a bit more. And the same on this side is a darker bit here. You can see all the branches kind of going in, framing the sky there, and then it gets really dark down here, like that. The same here, and around the base of this. And then we've got some lighter sections of the trees here. So just allowing that to mix. That's just the lights kind of playing on the top sections there, and probably the same down there, but it'll be more kind of brighter green down the bottom. And now we've got a wooden post that kind of comes up about here-ish, so I want to get that in. It's quite a flat colour, so just gonna draw that in there. A couple of the little ones kind of sticking out next to it. Actually, it does come further down. It disappears into the foliage. There's another one there. So we'll just put these down here. And then just add the pale bit. And one of these is really quite pale. Like that. Now we've got our sunflower. So we've got a couple of different things I want to do. I'll get in our main sunflowers just off center. So I'm going to give it a nice red base for the center part. And then I've got a kind of more darker yellow, which I'll just do for coming out of the center. And then I'll just, using my fingers, just blend that slightly, just push that down into the paper along with our center, because we'll be working a lighter colour over the top, so it won't matter too much at this point. And we've got a really pale one over here. So So again, we'll go with our red for the center. It's kind of, it's bent over on itself. So it's kind of that shape. And then, actually I don't want to put the peach. Yeah, I'm going to use the peach to create the leaves because I've got the lighter yellow which will go on top of that. So these are the shorter ones because it's kind of hunched over, and then longer ones at the bottom. Again, we're just going to blend those out like that. And now I also want to start getting in some of these leaves. So the leaves are actually quite pale, the actual stalks themselves. So this one's got this giant leaf in front here, kind of like that, and it just goes over the top of everything. So we're just going to pop that in there, and then just going to smooth it out. I'm going to put a lighter green on top because it is kind of catching, and then it's just a case of just working in some of these other leaves. And stalks. And I'm not following it exactly, but I'm getting, you know, fair representation of what we're doing here. I need to put the other stake in here, don't I? Yeah. And then another one here. Same here, this has got another kind of leaf bud collection going on at the top here. And this lighter one's actually got light greeny coloured leaves. So I think once I've kind of got this settled like that, I do want to bring this back out a wee bit more. I also want to be able to bring some of this in. So we've got these beautiful purple flowers down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do them with the pink as a base. It's a kind of neutral mauve pink colour. And it will just help get some of this in down here. And then we've got all these beautiful kind of white, blue and pink flowers going that way, but I need to get some of the base colours down. So I've got this one, which is great for our other sunflower here. So this is a kind of green brown, but like I said, I've got some lighter colours to go over the top of it yet, so I'm not worried about it. That's looking fun. And then down here we've got some of this green down here. I'll just bring that down, and also over here. And then we've got some of our lighter greens. We've got little bits of gold. We've got some gold down here actually, down in this bottom corner. I might as well add some of that in. Not much, just a little. And then we've got some of our blue-green going on down here in this corner. We've also got this weird single yellow and pink flowers, but we might ignore those for the minute. And the same down here, this is darker. Like that. I'll just blend a little bit of this in. That's quite dark here. I want to bring more of this in here, where the darker patches are. I'm going to do this other post that we know we've got here. Just going to do this with the, again, and then some of this over the top. And now these weird flowers, again, I'm going to do with this blue. They actually kind of escape all the way up here. And then as they come down, there's a few of them in here. But obviously they get significantly bigger as they come down. There's some gorgeous yellow flowers in the background here. I'm just going to add those in. Kind of like these little tall things with yellow bits on the end. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty. So I thought I'd add that in. Right, now I want to add some of our darks back in to these leaves and flowers. I'm just scrubbing some of our dark in. I'm going to bring it down here because I don't want to do this blue thing that's in the background, this plasticky thing. I don't think that will look good. So we're going to take some creative initiative and just go, no, we're not going to do that. The other dark bit was down here, wasn't it? Yeah. So we're just gonna add some of that back in. Okay, so it's looking more like how it's supposed to look. And I think I'll do our sunflower next. This is the brighter yellow. Oh, actually, do I want to do the orange? So there is an orange right at the base around here. But I don't know if we're going to see that. I wonder if I could use... This might be a bit overkill because of how bright it is, but we'll do it anyway because I think it's fun. Like that. We'll get in. This is our brown. Like that. It is lighter on the outside edge, so at the top edge here it's lighter. I'm just going to make sure that that's the lighter bit. I don't know whether I've got dark brown. Not really. I want to really make sure that it's dark at the bottom. Like that. Now we'll just get our bright yellow. And we'll just pull out the petals by going into the orange and then just pulling out. I'm not specifically trying to shape any petals. I am literally just going right and touch and pull, like that. And our pale one down here, we'll do the same again as we've got our dark brown, which we will do at the bottom. And mix that slightly, so it blends going up. And then we will take our light and we'll just so there's our two sunflowers. These purple flowers, I want to get in, but I want to get in some of this grass. So I've got this is I'm going to snap this slightly actually and just take off a little bit, and that's because I want the sharp corner. So this is one of the contes. I'm just going to help and I'll just get some of these grasses in. Down here is an absolute mix mash of lots of different grasses and things going on. I want to do the paler leaves with this, so we know that this is a pale one. It's also not a great pastel, this one. It's one of the Rembrandts, but it's a bit scratchy. So I just want to get this paler leaf in. So I'm just mixing it in with the green that's down. And then up here we've got little bits. It's just where the light is hitting the leaves. And then I can use this to do some of this grass. This amazing kind of little patch of really light grass, and a truck with the skip on the back of it goes past, obviously. This is really scratching the paper, and I'm trying not to scratch it too much. Right, let's get the rest of these gorgeous flowers in down here. So we've got our purples. We've got these beautiful kind of mauve pink going on first, so I'm just going to reinforce that before I do these, and take this up as well. And then I've got a nice, just the pinky, this is kind of like a pinky purple, this one. It's not the same colour as the flowers, but honestly it's such a gorgeous colour anyway. Remember, you're working in such a small piece of paper that this is not really going to matter too much. What is with today? Everything's going off today. So I'm just adding purple to them willy-nilly. It's about making the marks like that. And then these ones, which is our blue ones, bring in the really pale blue. These should pop out like that. There's a few just little ones there. And then it's got this kind of pinky purple center. I don't really have any decent pink purples. Have I got anything in here? Like nice vibrant pink would be nice. Ooh, I do. I have this one, which is my fuchsia pink, and it is pink. So we'll just add a spot of that in amongst all of these. There's a couple of these really bright pink flowers kind of dotting around like there, and another one here that we put in. These have got bright yellow centres. There's some sort of almost poppy-like looking thing, like that. Right, I would say I'm going to call that done. I'm really happy with that. It's a really sweet little painting, just kind of depicting the kind of almost floral abundance of what was going on at the time in that. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed that one. Why not give it a go yourself? And I'll see you all for another one very soon.